Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. Hey, Tanesha, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm
Oh,
excited
my
to be
gosh. Okay. I
here.
can just look at you. I'm like, hey, Tanesha. I'm excited to have you here on. Oh, I left my pen. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I'm excited to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you all for all that are already grabbing your seats. You guys know the whole routine here at the Kim Jacobs Show, which is to grab your virtual seats, let everybody know that you are part of a virtual studio audience here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Invite your friends, tag a friend. You can just simply tag a person and say, hey, come on, be my guest at the Kim Jacobs Show. And it's pretty fun. We're going to have a great time talking to Tanesha Sharp today, who is the author of Ready and Relentless. And so you're going to be on a roller coaster ride today. Okay. So, Tanesha, this is a great opportunity for you to share with your friends and family as well. So, if you take an opportunity right from my Facebook page and go ahead and share it.
I just
Cool.
did.
All right, you on top of it. So, I know why you did that, because then when I play the music, then you can go ahead and get ready to just focus on the dancing piece, right?
Okay.
All right, everybody else, make sure you share it right now. All right. Yes, it is the Kim Jacobs Show. I love that. Shayla Faulkner did that for me.
Oh,
And she's one of the members of our church. Oh my gosh, I love that theme song. I'm like, Shayla. And she into it too. It's the Kim Jacobs Show. She like doing that thing. I can't sing it out because then you'd be like, cut the whole show, started over in the broadcast. Listen, guys, today I have in the studio with me Tanesha Sharp. She is a wife. She's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She's also the president of an um, I don't want to say a women's organization, but she's a president of a specific entity within a church that I belong to, Church of God in Christ, and the North Carolina Second Jurisdiction. She is the president of the North Carolina Second Jurisdiction Business and Professional Women's Federation. It is super exciting to have her be in that role. She's also the creator of Leverage Multimedia and Consulting. Wow, that's a good name. Leverage Multimedia and Consulting. And she also, this is a digital media company that she owns. She's a solopreneur and lots of other things that you're going to hear about her. But most of all, she is a child of God and she just loves people and she loves God. So I am excited to have Tanesha Sharp here in the studio with me today.
It's an honor to be a part of the show and a part of what you're doing. This is awesome.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. We don't have any scripted questions or anything, so I can just toss my paper.
Let's
We
talk.
literally are just talking. So, Tanesha, where do you want to begin? Some people want to take us back all the way to their childhood. Some people want to start with their professional journey. You just take us back wherever you want to go, because keeping in mind, people that are watching the Kim Jacobs Show, they're trying to find pieces of the puzzle that can help better put their lives together. And so my guests that come on, like you, are providing those kinds of advice and solutions and ways to overcome and not feel like it's the end of the world for you. So take it away, Tanesha.
Well, I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio, born and raised there. And I relocated to, I did stay there and did 3 years at University of Toledo before I moved here to North Carolina. Came down here, met my husband, and we've been going ever since. Let's see, just a little bit about. I can say part of most of my story has a lot to do with the book that I just wrote. Actually, the whole thing about just my pursuit for God. And what did that look like for me, and
Okay.
how did that transitioning from my young adult to adult life, went through a whole lot of different challenges, made a whole lot of mistakes. But then I got to a place where I began to really draw close to God and really build that relationship, and it changed everything. And so a lot of times people ask me, how are you and your husband like so happy, and you guys are just doing all these things, and my foundation is prayer, and some people may think that's cliche, that some people think that's like, oh, okay, everyone, that sounds good. But I have learned how to really build a relationship that transfers over into my marriage. And
Oh, wow.
and that's what even a lot. So most of my journey is just about really really learning from my mistakes, especially relationships. I made a whole lot of bad relationship decisions as a young adult, and even as an adult, until I met my husband, and or until I really got a true relationship with God, and I was able to really start making better decisions and using wisdom to make and using his leading and guiding to direct me in the right way I should go. And it's been working, and it's been amazing. It's been really awesome for my marriage, and I just really want to share, what does it look like and how do you get to that place?
That's
So
really
that's
good.
really much.
Okay. So as you're already you giving me some nuggets to pull from by just saying that you made some mistakes in your life, and a lot of people, we all make mistakes in our lives, things that we later regret, and we're looking back and we're like, dog, I kind of wish I didn't do that particular thing that way. And
Yes.
at that point, it's like, okay, the thing is already done, the damage is already done, the outcome has already kind of happened in a lot of instances. What advice would you share with people that have made some mistakes and they're trying to figure out how to move forward when they don't know how to get past the mistake they made?
Well, you have to really, it all goes back to relationship. My relationship with God. This is what worked for me. I'll just say that. When I was trying to, work through some stuff, I had to find out what was the root issue. What were my issues? Not really necessarily anybody else's, but what was in me that I needed to change.
Right.
And I became so focused on becoming a better version of who I was, that I
That's
began to
good.
transform and become someone totally different. Somebody that I'm grateful for the transformation, because I'm like, yeah, this is who God really wanted me to be all along. And so allowing God to just really transform my life. But it just started with my prayer life, and him just telling, him guiding me, him delivering me from certain things, and being able to walk it out, being consistent in my walk with him, and being consistent in my relationship with him. Not just praying to him for things, but praying, the things that he would want me to do, and
That's
as well
good.
as the things that, just allow him to speak to me as far as the things that he wants me to do too. But it just, if someone's kind of like wanting to, pretty much bounce back from
Right.
all of this stuff, I would just say, as you build your relationship with God, he will lead and guide you. He's never led me astray. Like he's never had me out there looking crazy. Like he's always led me. He's always given me better than I even thought I could have did for myself.
That's right.
And so, it all started with really building that relationship. And and that was it. And then he was able to show me my my issues and what I needed to do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask right there. What
he showed me.
How did that happen for you? How did that happen? Like,
Well,
how did you come to the realization that, okay, I am here, but I need to be here, and this is how I'm going to get here?
And honestly, I didn't know where I needed to be. I just knew because I was still, when I first started seriously my journey, I was so young. I couldn't even see. All I knew is I wanted to be married, really. So I couldn't really see beyond that. And I knew God had something planned for me, but I knew that was long down the road, but I had no clue where things were going to lead. But I would just, I would just say that, pretty much it was a difference between being married, prior to being married, and then being married. Prior to being married, I feel like, like I said, I really didn't know where I was going. I was more focusing on just connecting with God. But afterwards, things started to unravel once I got married. My issues were things I didn't think was an issue when I was single. When you get married, like it's
magnified, right?
Yeah, and it's exposed. Not only, to your husband. He's like, why do you do that? Or, not nothing really bad, but just certain things is like, okay, that's a little different. And or certain things, if we would get into a disagreement and I would get offended, most of the root of my offense was because I was insecure or I had my own personal issues. It had nothing to do with him. And so then God will begin to show me that, like, this is something you need to work through. This is something you need to work on. But it was harder when I was single because I didn't. And that's another reason why I wrote the book too, because it's certain things that I could have asked myself, certain things I could have evaluated about myself to kind of know before I got married. Because to me, I felt like it was a little bit more embarrassing when you get married, because certain things you feel like you're overcoming, you feel like you're there, you feel like you're further along, and then when your husband sees it, it's like, oh, like for instance, it was a situation where, before I got married, I was like, I have a lot of faith, and then something came up, and as we're newly married, and my husband's cool, and I'm like panicking, kind of have a little anxiety about it. And I'm like, wow, I don't have the faith that I thought I had. I need to really work on that. So little stuff like that. Once you're married and you're living with someone, they can kind of see, because when you're single, it's just you. And so when you're married, they can kind of see, and things are exposed, and it's kind of like, it's kind of embarrassing. To me, it was a little embarrassing because it's like, I thought I was over that. I thought I was, and so I was like, okay, I'm fixing this. Like, God, show me how to do this. Show me how to fix this.
Right.
And that's what he did. And I just listened to him, whether I understood, whether it made sense. I just was obedient. And, but yeah, that helped me not to be offended all the time. And I really would think, as we're in a disagreement, wait a minute, hold on, let me just take a moment. I would really listen to what I'm saying and listen to my heart and what's going on the inside of me before I really would look at him as if it's his fault.
That's good. So more of an internal assessment to say, what am I doing that I could be doing differently in this situation, versus just saying it's all you and you're the reason that this is happening and so forth. And I like that. I like that because before, when I first was newly married, I used to always cook. I cook cookies still even today, but I cook cookies and I would take the center cookie. I literally would just take the center cookie. It was a habit. And I would give him one of the ones on the end, which is horrible, right?
I used to do stuff. I used to do that too. Not that, but stuff like that.
And the thing is, I never thought about it. And mainly because I used to do it with my brother, with one of my brothers. I'd be like, oh, he was okay with eating one of the end ones because he was like, I like the end ones fine. So we had this little system. I get the center one, you get the corner one. And it worked as a brother-sister situation. But when it came to being married, that does not work at all. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I don't have my, thank you, baby. I don't have my Gabe pen on. I was like, what? I gotta end the whole show. Okay. So now I can function. Now I'm in my mojo. Hey, okay. So the thing is, what he told me was, listen, this was very early on. I want to give you the best, and I want you to give me the best. Always. So every time I made cookies, every time, no matter when it has been, I give him a center cookie. But in all honesty, I make 2 center cookies. Yeah. So 2 are sitting right in the center of the pan.
And I started asking myself why. It was like little, I wouldn't say selfish, but little nitpicky things that I would do. I'm like, why am I doing that? Didn't even notice it before I got married.
Interesting. But everything is magnified. I tell people all the time, anytime you're dating someone, whatever you like about the person, put a magnifying glass on it, because you can put a magnifying and it's going to be magnified times 100. Whatever you don't like about a person, if it aggravates you while you're dating, guess what? Yes. When you get married, it's going to get significantly more magnified, right?
Yes.
And you're like, I knew I didn't like this from the beginning. And I just said, oh, it'll be okay because he's cute. No, it's not okay. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And you need to make sure that you're clear that you don't like it. Right?
But yeah, we're 14 years in. So we'll be 14 years this upcoming year. And so, so many things that I've learned, and the book is pretty much what I would tell myself if I can go back. What are some things I would change? And I mean, I think it would be very, very, I believe it's been very helpful. I've gotten a lot of great feedback already.
Well, I'm excited.
How awesome it is. Yeah.
Let's talk about how people can get the book. You want people going to Amazon or?
If they want it quick or whatever, they can go to Amazon. I mean, I am signing if you go to the website, I personally sign those books. So
you have it's a lot of stuff here. So let me make sure it's the link.
OneSharpCouple.com.
Okay, that's the one. I'm just going to pull that link right there.
If you want a signed copy, you can do One Sharp Couple. You can look us up on Amazon.
Well, here I'm
One
going to put that link in right now. It's one
sharp
sharp
couple.
couple. I
.com.
love it.
And
One
it has
sharp
me and my
couple.
husband's stuff. It has a lot of information about all that we do, our podcast, our YouTube page, um, anything and everything about us is pretty much on that page. If people are looking, just want to research us and find out more about us and what all that we offer.
I'm actually can I take people to your page? Is that
Yes,
okay?
that's fine.
All right. Let me take you there for a second, everyone. All right. Let's see. One sharp couple, Raymond and Tanesha. Yes, they are one sharp couple. Yes, Lord. And look at him here with his gray goatee.
Yes,
Look at that.
he's so handsome.
Oh, never miss an update. Listen, you can actually go right here and put your information in and submit. I'm going to do that as well. And I'll do that today. But the thing is, whenever I do it, I'm on the screen, it shows all of my information. So I'm not going to do it in front of everybody. I realized that. I was like, it shows like all of my personal. Anyway, so I will go and sign up. But Raymond and Tanesha, jump in with Raymond and Tanesha Sharp. To get your copy today, you can go right here. Listen, if you go to onesharpcouple.com, you can go right here to order your copy get your copy of Ready and Relentless today. You can also, there's another book over here. Tell us about that.
It's Mrs. Everything, How to Become a Wife, Girlfriend, and Mistress. All in one, not separate. You can have everything in your wife. And my husband wrote that book. We both actually launched our books together. Yeah, we launched our books together a couple of months ago. But Mrs. Everything, the lessons that he's learned, and things that he's been through, he's very transparent and he's very fair on both sides.
This is good, guys. Make sure you guys, I'm telling you early on in the Kim Jacobs show today that you definitely want to go to onesharpcouple.com, get your copy of Ready and Relentless, and get your copy of Mrs. Everything. Now, the Ready and Relentless is by author Tanesha Sharp, and you have Mrs. Everything, which is a lot of lessons that Mr. Raymond Sharp is going to reveal to you in his book. So you definitely want to get both copies of that and check out their websites, which are, oh my gosh, I am so in love with this whole photo shoot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you can learn more information how to school during COVID-19, how to push through challenges, all kinds of different things that they have on their podcast. I'm going to stop this and go back to you and let you talk to us about some of the different things that you provide as services during COVID-19 to people. So tell us the things.
Well, what I'm doing with Leverage Multimedia, which is the company that I started, we're trying to help small business owners or experts, really maneuver through this time with the digital market and learning how to do digital products, doing the launches and all that stuff, so they can survive during all of this stuff that's going on. So they can bring extra streams of income in their business, or if they're trying to grow and hire a team, when you have an online course or digital products, you have more income coming in, maybe, and you can kind of use that to begin to build your business and put back into your business and grow it and get assistance. And I'm doing more of the consulting right now, since I am still, doing virtual learning with my kids too.
Yes.
So I'm still, I'm doing more of the consulting part of it and really helping businesses grow. I'm doing trainings. I have digital products as well. Like I said, it's on our web. All that stuff is, once you click on our picture, you can find out all the information. But I have courses that you can purchase to learn how to maneuver through, how to market, do campaigns, how to launch, how to do branding, marketing, all that stuff during this digital time, and how to pretty much grow your business to where it's just not you actually have a team. What does that look like? How do you begin to expand when it's just you? And because sometimes we get stuck and we become just one man show for so long, I help them to push through that and really start hiring a team and really just utilizing and better managing their time. And that's kind of what I've been working on, helping people just repurpose what a lot of the material that they have and really working with what they have and helping them to monetize in different ways within their business before you start doing all these other separate businesses. So I'm very passionate about that. I like seeing and figuring out how different ways to monetize. And now we're all digital. It's all about now click funnels and really helping them, really create like an online course. I love that. That's like my specialty, is helping them create an online course. And I have a course that teaches them how to do that. And they work with me one-on-one as well.
I love that.
On getting it launched, getting it up, running and launched. And so that's been my passion. And it just so happens now that we're in a pandemic, I can, it's really relevant now. But I've been doing it for a while. It's just more relevant now that, people are home now. You can create a course and just pretty much make money while you're sleeping. I mean, if you're an expert at anything, you can bring transformation. I mean, this creating a course has been very beneficial to a lot of people who are looking for, other streams of income.
I love that. We actually are going to be doing a class coming up, or a series. It's not necessarily a series. It's going to be a show talking about like home-based business and different ways that people can earn income while they're still here during this pandemic. So if you want to come back and be a part of that show as well, there'll be a panel of women talking about different business opportunities that are available for people that are looking like, I need something. I need to do something financially to secure my family or whatever. That show is coming up soon, and we'd love to have you on that panel.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a lot of people who are successful, who have done wonderful things, and people are wanting to know, how did you do it? Like if you own I know someone who owns a daycare, and there's a lot of people that I know want to start a daycare, but she doesn't have time to mentor. And I'm like, we're going to create a course so they can get the information that they need. So just if you know how to get from A to B, A to Z, shall I say?
I'm like, A to B, that's like one baby step.
Yeah, but if you can bring transformation, if you can really give somebody, get somebody to the end, and of course, I mean, it's not as complicated as a lot of people think it is.
Right.
It's super easy nowadays. I mean, they have platforms that are super easy to maneuver and easy to work through. So, I just help encourage that, because, it's a lot of stuff that people may want mentorship in, and it's really good for mentors as well.
That's good. And how do people can get that service of being able to start an online course and doing it from A to Z through a training with Tanesha Sharp? And that can be found also at One Sharp Couple. You can go there and you can get all the information to be able to
click on my link. About
to utilize her services to help you develop online courses that'll be from A to Z. She'll walk you through the process. So a lot of excuses are like completely taken away when I bring guests on like Tanesha Sharp, who's telling you how to get ready, how to be relentless, how to make sure that you work as a great couple so that some of your old baggage is not coming into your relationship. So it's a lot of information that she's already shared today. And if you have specific questions, we're going to be doing a flash round. So make sure you guys go ahead and start typing your questions. Do I have that over there somewhere? Yeah, make sure you guys type your questions. And if you have comments, if you even want to be brought into the show, that's something new that some people have been like, bring me on the show. I want to say something. Okay. So if you know that you want to be brought into the Kim Jacobs Show, and just do a quick shout out right quick to Tanesha head to head and say something to her, use that link that I just put in, and that'll be great. Let's go ahead and go to some of the flash round comments and questions. Let's see. This is just an opportunity, Tanesha, where people say things and you can respond however you want to it. Okay. Good morning, ladies. It's my mommy. Hey, Mom. I love you, ladies. Kim Jacobs Show song. It makes me dance. I love it. I love you, Mom. Okay. Hey, First Lady, enjoying the video. Love you. Thank you, Mother Blessing Game. Glad you're here today. Amen. To God bless us all to love. I do that with Grand Biscuits.
Oh, Latasha, I know her.
What did she do with Grand Biscuits? I'm trying to think. I don't, it's probably an earlier comment we made.
Yes.
So tell us what you do with the Grand Biscuits, Latasha, and I'll pop that comment back up too. Glad to have you today. Yes, God, mojo. Okay. She got it all together. Yes, God, and I'm in my mojo. Okay. That's yes, Lord. Oh, your First Lady, Linda Allen. Good morning. I'm so proud of the Sharp couple.
I love you, First Lady Allen.
And I actually had Lady Linda Allen on my show, and she did a great job talking about cake, coffee, and conversations.
I enjoyed that one.
Isn't that awesome?
It
So
was
if you don't have
awesome.
her
Yeah.
book, Cake, Coffee, and Conversations, Lady Linda Allen, make sure you put that link in the comment as well so people know how to get your book, and make sure that you check out the episode where she was on there on the Kim Jacobs Show. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. Oh, guess who else is on here? Good morning, lady.
Mother Lofton. Oh.
Mother Lofton is on here. And speaking of Mother Lofton, I'll give you the honors of saying what your new role is. You know what? Before you do that, let me say this. Wait a minute. I got to say this. This is important to know that people that are in support roles that help other people by pushing them up above the iceberg, and you can see that person's head, but the people beneath the surface are the ones that's really doing a lot of work to make sure that everything is fantastic above board. Well, I was the president of the North Carolina Second Jurisdiction Business and Professional Women's Federation, and that's within the Church of God in Christ, the North Carolina Second Jurisdiction of the Church of God in Christ. And our bishop is Bishop Stenneth Emmanuel Powell Sr. and our lovely First Lady, Lady Beverly Powell. We love, oh my God, you would think she's the
Yes.
president of the United States, because it's like, I mean, the president's wife of the United States. We'd be like, hey, Lady Powell. And we love her. And our state supervisor of women is Mother Patricia Lofton. And that's who this is that's on here today. But I say that to say that Tanesha was serving as the vice president. She's someone I just met in church. I didn't know you did that, Tanesha.
Mm-mm.
I didn't know at all. I just saw you one day and I was telling you about this organization that we are now auxiliary that we're part of. And hey, why don't you be a part of it? And you accepted graciously, right?
Yeah, I was excited.
Right. But you didn't know that by you doing that from wherever you were in Fayetteville and I'm in Charlotte, we're just talking over the phone and doing some things, encouraging other ladies, that I was going to recommend you to be president, did you?
No, not at all.
And you know what? Faithfulness, devotion, dedication, consistency, helping other people, supporting other people's visions and goals and dreams is a good thing, y'all, because you can't always be the person that's always right there for front. I support so many people. Whether you only see me right now on a show sometimes like this, I have supported thousands of people
Yes, she has.
behind the scenes.
Behind
And I
the
always
scenes,
do.
yes, she has.
But
I've seen personally, yeah.
To do that and see you now be in your role is just such an honor to me. And I'm so grateful that God blessed you to be the president. So talk about that a little bit too.
Well, of course, I had you were an excellent example, and I believe that has been very helpful in this transition for me, anyways. And you've always been very supportive, so I thank you for recommending and just still being there. She hasn't left me; she's still there, and I'm just so grateful that I can call her and I can still have her mentor me even in this transition. So, but it's an honor to serve, and that's how I look at it. In this role. So I'm the president of the NC Second Business and Women Federation Group, and so it's an honor. That's how I look at it. That's pretty much it. I'm serving, and
you serve so well, and she helps all of the
do.
professional women within our jurisdiction to develop, and she does trainings on there free of charge, so she's not running around charging everybody. She provides this as a service every single month to all of the women that want to come on and learn how to be. I'm sorry. I'll just remove you for a sec. But she actually does all of these trainings for women that's in the Christian walk that want to still be professional and be able to, okay.
I'm back.
Okay. Professional women that are from all walks of life that want to be able to be successful. And so she does that faithfully. And so I'm just excited that we saw Mother Lofton. Hey, Tanesha Sharp. And he's saying like, hey, boo.
Hey, honey, that's my boo.
He's saying it like, like, hey, Tanesha Sharp. Yeah, we know. Try it, Mr. Raymond.
Hey, sweetie.
Look how you smiling. Oh my gosh, I see her back teeth, brother pastor, assistant Raymond Sharp.
He's so sweet. He's so sweet. I mean, 14 years in, and God has truly blessed me. Like, for real. Like, when you really, they used to always say, "Oh, just wait on God, wait on God." I mean, I didn't understand then, but now I do.
So
And
what do you mean when you hear wait on God? Because there are a lot of women that are single, and that tomorrow I have a young lady coming on, Dr. Stephanie Ricks. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. And she is gorgeous too, single, but she says focus on God. So she's going to be talking a lot about that tomorrow. But what's your take on that, Tanesha?
well, if I can be just like, this is Kim Jakes, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes, I hope you will.
And but just where I was back then, pre-married, before Raymond, I was so like very discouraged. And so, when people say wait on God or just wait, to me it would just I just it was hard for me to honestly take advice from those who were married, because I kind of didn't feel like they understood.
Good
And
point.
it was easy just to say wait on God, or just wait or whatever. Or and even in my book I explained that sometimes us married women, we don't go into detail because you just kind of got to trust us. But I go into detail when we say that this is what we mean. And so I didn't understand, everyone was saying this, and it's like, I am waiting. Like, what do you think? It would just,
It's
I
like
would
you
get
save it, you married one, right?
yeah, I mean, I would just, I had a hard time. And my first lady was pretty much, Linda Allen was pretty much the one that really took time to say, I remember what that felt like. And she connected with me in a way, and I was so grateful for her, because I felt like there is someone that connected with me. And so that's another reason why I feel like I want to let the single women know, like, I've been there. I've done that. I've been very discouraged and didn't think that, my husband would ever come, or, I would have to settle and just get like whatever I can, whatever came. And if he wanted to
Oh,
marry me, I would
wow.
just have to settle. And very low self-esteem. I mean, I'm totally a whole new person than what I was before. And
Wow.
so, it was just, I mean, that's my truth, so I had a hard time receiving from married women. So I just thought it was funny, like, God, you want me to write a book about the singles? Just thought it was funny. I'm like, God, you have a sense of humor. Because I just, I had a hard time until my first lady, she would just sit and relate to me and just say, I remember. And I think that's what a lot of singles need, not just
Right.
a blank statement. Oh, you just need to wait. You just live your best life and you have all this time. Well, I explain a lot in that book of what we're really, really saying and what that really means. And sometimes us saying just wait on God is because maybe we're in a bad marriage and we move too fast, but they're not going to tell you that.
Right.
Maybe they didn't listen to God or whatever, and now they're like wishing they can go back, and that's their advice to you, but they don't tell you and explain all that to you. So I
Right.
kind of go deep and speak on the wives' behalf to those who may feel like how I felt. And but I'm on the other side now, and I see exactly what they're saying, and I get it now. I'm
That's
in those
good.
conversations with other wives. I get it now, like, but I didn't get it back then.
That's such great advice. Oh my gosh, the book, you're gonna get Ready and Relentless, guys,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be able to learn from a wife's perspective what the advice is to single women,
Mm-hmm.
because she's gonna go deep dive about how she felt as a single woman prior to her
Mm-hmm.
being married, and
Yes.
literally outline the details of that for
Mm-hmm.
you.
I'm very transparent. Like somebody wrote, they're like, I can't believe you shared everything. I mean, I didn't share everything, but I shared a lot of personal stuff, and I'm
Well, you're gonna have to
real
share one of them
honest.
on the show, because I mean, we know we're gonna wait for the book, but we need to at least hear one. So figure out which one transparent thing you're gonna share. Vickie Evans says, yes, I understand that because I have been waiting for more than 15 years now. What's good advice that you would have for her? And she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, very distinguished. She's corporate professional woman and does all of this. She's just waiting for who God has for her as Mr. Right. So what advice?
I would just say, everything is in God's timing. What I'm learning and now being on the other side, that God's timing is like so perfect.
Yeah.
Even when it happened for me, I planned a wedding from a whole nother state. I'm in North Carolina, but I planned my wedding in Ohio, and I did that in like, I got engaged New Year's Eve. My wedding was May 26th. So I had that little bit of time to make it all. I had to get a church. I mean, everything. And God really like kind of put it to, I mean, he just did the miraculous really for me. And it made it so easy. Like I knew it was God. And so it was all of it was in his timing. It was the timing was right. And when it's his timing, everything will like fall together, and you kind of want it like that, you know. And what I've learned even now, even been on, so everything that I'm hoping, like even my book, I've been wanting this book to be out for so long. Like I've been pretty much
Right.
kind of done with this book since last year, and I didn't launch it to this year. And the timing, it was all in the timing, and I didn't understand that. And so sometimes we want to rush things and we want things now, but when you begin to learn how to trust God's
Right.
timing, I'm learning that I can't go wrong. Like the timing of God is so perfect. You're in the right place at the right time, and you walk right into whatever God has for you. And that's to me is more of my focus. I want to walk into it in the timing that He wants me to do it, because
Right.
then it's right.
That's
And
right.
so, you look at it, if you meditate on it, oh, it's been 15 years, and you constantly looking at how long it's been, then, of course, you're going to start getting depressed and start feeling horrible. But if you begin to look at it, God, I understand your timing is perfect. And you hear
Right.
that, but when you begin to experience that, I've heard that before. Oh, just it's God's timing, God's timing. I'm experiencing that a lot more now than ever before.
That's good.
And the timing of God has just been everything. When it's His time, everything falls into place, and it's
Yeah.
so you just wait for God's timing. Even this whole leadership role, I had no idea this was coming. But it's the timing was all part of God. So you don't have to force anything, you don't have to make anything happen. You just stay in alignment to His will, and He would just work it out. So I would just say focus on the timing. Okay, in this season, what am I supposed to be doing
Right.
in
Right.
this season? How? Because everything connects, and I didn't realize how everything connects. I'm looking back now, and even in writing my book, I just look, I'm like, wow, that connected to that, and that connected to that. And
Mhm.
had I not went through that, everything was all part of the puzzle,
That's
and
right.
every piece eventually came together, but I didn't see it, I didn't understand it. And all
Mm.
I'm thinking, like, God, I'm still waiting. God, I'm ready. What was happening, and it's all in the timing. It had nothing to do about whether I felt like I was ready or not. It's just all about the timing, and the timing is everything. I'm learning that as I get older, and
That's right.
as I go through this, and I'm walking things out.
Mhm.
I have to be patient and trust God, and I'm so more chill about a lot of stuff now. I'm not rushing anymore.
Right.
I have learned that the timing has always been perfect when
That's
He
right.
decides to do certain things. So I wouldn't just don't focus on how long. Don't focus on anything that will make you feel even more discouraged. Don't be around singles that's going to make you feel even more discouraged.
Right.
Surround yourself around singles who are excited, who are doing things, who are definitely pursuing God and very positive, and just continue to be excited, because I feel like when He finds you, He should find you happy and vibrant. That's going to be that thing that attracts Him to you. So you don't want to
Yeah.
be loom and gloom. Just make sure your attitude is definitely right. Because you don't want to be like, oh no, that's not. He gonna look at like that's not the one. Because I don't know if
You got
I'm
an
not saying your
attitude
attitude is
like,
bad. I'm just saying
what
it
you
can
want?
get,
What you want? You're like, huh?
yeah, or just have a bad attitude, because you're single. And I've had attitudes before. I'm just speaking out of experience. I felt some kind of way at times when I was single, and I would get over it. But there were times where I felt some kind of way, like,
Wow. Now, you guys are hearing today from Tanesha Sharp, who has been married now for 14 years. She's the author of Ready and Relentless. And
yes,
her husband, Raymond Sharp, is the author of Mrs. Everything.
everything,
Mrs.
yeah.
Everything. I'm talking about the wife, the mistress, I don't want to go too far south with the other woman in the marriage, basically, but you
But
actually
he
the same one in the marriage. He breaking it down.
Yeah, he shows you how to do that. He talks about how do you do that? How do you become all those? Because we at one point we were sometimes all three of them at some point.
That's
You were
right.
definitely
Yeah,
a girlfriend before. So what changed? What stopped?
that's right.
And so he
And
helps you bring that back out.
that's good. Great advice coming from Mr. Raymond Sharp. And you can get both of their books at onesharpcouple.com. And if you click on their pictures, you'll be able to officially get both copies of the book. And you definitely want to have that in your library, and not just having it in your library, but reading it and applying it. Some great information. So that was a great answer for Vickie Evans. Let's see some other people that came on. Oh, hey, Chantel. Chantel said, good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Raymond
Good
Sharp.
morning, honey.
He gonna just keep on typing. You type
Good
on.
morning.
You now he's your admire. Oh, he's your admirer from. Go ahead. Go ahead. I love it. I love
You're
it.
so
And Lady
sweet.
Linda Allen, for her book, I asked her to put this
Yes.
on here, is cakecoffeeconversation.com. Make sure you all get a copy of her book as well. It is incredible information.
Yes.
Came on the Kim Jacobs show and shared some significant nuggets with everyone. And so I asked her to please put that right here for us to be able to share it. Thank you so much, Lady Allen. Denise Blassingame says, God always on time. Amen. He
Yes.
showed me. He showed me that he's always on time. That's what she said. All right. Well, those were some of the comments that came from the studio audience. Today's episode is sponsored in part by, let me put that. Today's episode is sponsored in part by the John Maxwell Training Team. Now, John Maxwell Training Team certified trainer is Raphael Dejean. You can reach out to him at 214-498-4352. He's an independent certified coach, teacher, trainer, and speaker with the John Maxwell team. He can help you with things like creating mastermind groups and speaking in workshops, coaching services, as well as help you be able to identify your leadership skills through a leadership assessment. So you want to reach out to Raphael Dejean, 214-498-4352. And be sure to say that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you. Thank you so much for being today's episode sponsor, Raphael Dejean with John Maxwell Group as a certified trainer. All right. So what else do you want to talk about, Tanesha? Because there's a couple of things that I'm taking away from what you said. You were supposed to tell us, something from your book that just give us something.
Okay.
Give us one nugget.
So I will share with this. This is towards the end. This is something that this is one of the last things I felt God was wanting me to share. My whole journey. I feel like it's in chapter 9. It talks about the pretty much your purpose, to make a long story short. And I feel like sometimes as a single woman, I know for me, if I can just use me as an example, I focus so much on being married and I didn't focus on my purpose. Mm-hmm. And so what I have found is that there are a lot of wives like me that really didn't pursue purpose until after they got married. And sometimes that's not the best time to try to, pursue your purpose and really trying to figure out who you are. And I always say, if I can go back, I would change that about myself. I would have pursued my purpose. I would have been flowing in what God has called me to flow in, just really doing what God has called me to do. That would have been my focus, even at a young age. Even my daughter, she's 10. And I'm trying to pull purpose out of her even now, because I want her to be so purpose driven that, her husband will just find her in her purpose. Mm-hmm. And that when she gets married, all she can take it, sit down her purpose, or whatever for just a season and, mm-hmm. Be that mom and be that wife and not feel like she's missing something.
That's right.
Not feeling like, she's stuck and just being and not knowing what she's supposed to be doing, who she is outside of just a mom and a wife. Right. And sometimes we resent our husbands because mm-hmm. of what we have going on, or because we feel like we're not pursuing what we should be pursuing, but that's not really the time for that. That's right. What I felt. I felt like it wasn't a time. And so I had to just have a season of studying. When the kids are taking a nap, I would study the thing that I was passionate about. Good. I had a degree, but it was challenging for me to work because I had my kids one after another. Right. And so I would be paying for childcare if I had worked. So I had to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. Didn't know what that looked like. That was a challenge all within itself. Because my mom, she worked, she had a regular, had a job and, 9 to 5. And I've seen her work and I thought I was going to be like her, mm-hmm. Dressing up every day, going to the office, I said, I'm going to be like my mom. And if she can do it, but she just had me. Right. And she had me when she was 36. So she had me a lot later on in life. Okay. So she could do that. And I was 26 when I got married, and I had my first, I think I was like 27, 28. And so it was a difference. And mm-hmm. knowing and realizing that it's a huge difference when you're not pursuing or flowing in your purpose, that you feel this void. And, right. And my advice will always be, is to, pursue it before, you get married. Like, really use that time, really do what God has called you to do. Not like, don't feel like you have to wait until I get married or I don't have the money. Like, really my startup didn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just took research and studying and really perfecting, and offering free services until I was able to, be confident enough to charge. And so it was an 8-year journey for me. And there were times where I was, I felt like, and now looking back, it was kind of selfish of me to feel that way, but it was real feelings. Like I felt like I was stuck at times because I didn't know what, being a stay-at-home mom looked like. I was out of my element. I had to get super organized. I had like toddlers. I had 3 of them, and they were all real close in age,
Right.
running around the house. And I'm like, is this what life is? Even though you sign up for it, and even though some people be like, well, yeah, I would love to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. That's a hard job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. It's still a full-time job. That's why I don't believe that there are.
You still got to go to work.
That's right. I still don't believe that there's necessarily a stay-at-home mom and an at-work mom. I just believe a mom is a mom, because if you're at home, you're still working in some capacity with the children, with laundry, with cooking. And then the moms that are working outside of the home, they just have basically 2 jobs, because when they come home, they still are doing all of the work that they have to do as a mom that's choosing to also go outside of the household. So a mom is a mom, in my opinion,
Yeah. So that's a big part of it. And another part is I'm transparent about the guys so this is pre-marriage, the guys that I've dated, how I was kind of taking on different characteristics because I was around them a lot. So I began to change who I was. To be. So I am very transparent and honest about, how I was before, I really, really came back to Christ, and really how being in a relationship, it should never do that.
That's interesting that you say that. I love that. I love that point. So I would like for you, even if you're not going to share what's in the book, but elaborate in some regard on why it's important for you as an individual not to take on the characteristics of somebody that you're dating just because you're dating them. That they're not you. You're a different person.
Yeah. Well, see, I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know. And I'm just going, I'm like, okay, this is what it takes to hang out with them. So I'm going to do those things. That was definitely not me, but I did them. And, and it was a lot of stuff, that, okay, what was the question? Let me make sure I'm answering your question.
Oh, no, you're answering it. Go ahead.
I did. Okay. And so I just had to, now looking back, I mean, I didn't see it then. I didn't see it then, but now looking back, I'm like, wow, I was doing those things not because I wanted to do it, not because that was me, and I see how relationships you can change who you are. You can be someone you're not. That's why even in my book, I really thought it was going to be a workbook, because I have a whole lot of questions, self-evaluation, stuff to fill out, like even within the book. I thought it was going to be a workbook, but God just kept giving me more information. I said, okay, this is a book, because obviously this is not a workbook. But there were things that, you can find out more about yourself, things that I didn't even know about myself. Like I did a lot of finding out self-awareness and all that stuff when I got married. And I felt like I shouldn't have been doing that. And so I'm going through all these different changes, emotions, and my husband kind of has to be patient with me during that. And I feel like he shouldn't have had to be patient. I mean, well, not that, but he shouldn't have had to have gone through that, because that's something I could have went through before. But he's so sweet. I mean, he's awesome. And he kind of helped me to identify, like, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses. This is what I feel like you should go into. This is what I see you doing. I mean, he was very nurturing. He was very, very, very good at it. He's such a mentor anyway. But he was so sweet. He was so patient. But a lot of men are not patient. A lot of men will act like they don't care. Right. And just say, stay home and just be a wife and don't care about what you feel like you're supposed to do. I mean, he could have said, well, you don't, why are you doing all this stuff? Just wait till they get older. No, he allowed me to still study. Like, he was still excited about what I was excited about. Even though I couldn't do it, he would still talk to me and work me through it. So, but I don't think a lot of men are like that. And so what if you marry someone that's not like that?
That's a horrible thing that you do. Yeah. But I do think that it's important that hopefully God will align people that share similar visions and goals and support each other through the goals and the dreams. And I think that that's extremely important in a marriage. And I'm excited that God has blessed you with that husband that you have.
I'm grateful. Yeah. I don't take it every day. There's not one day I tell him, I don't take you for granted. Like, that's because right. I've been on the other side. I've I've had thoughts of never getting something like this before, and when you have it, you appreciate it.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I agree. I agree. Okay, y'all, listen, we have Quest Church prayer line coming up at noon. So make sure you guys know that you can go over and get some prayer. Pastor Jacobs is praying for people that's dealing with COVID, dealing with all of the wildfires that's happened, the protesting, the shootings, you name it, voting, everything that's going on across the land. Some prayers happening. 978-990-5000. The access code is 322083 #, and it's Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30 p.m. So please make sure you take an opportunity and get that prayer in. And I definitely want to invite you guys to be a part of supporting the Kim Jacobs Show. Many times people want to know, well, how can I support your show? And I don't charge people to be a part of any, coming on as guests or anything. I encourage you, if you have friends, family, anyone that would like to support the Kim Jacobs Show, you can do so by going to Cash App, Kim Jacobs Inc., paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. And a lot of times people want to know, what is this Patreon thing? Patreon is $12 a month, and it's a Patreon membership where you get to unlock exclusive after party content. So some of my guests stay after the show. We just do some, like, take the mask off, and then because we're gonna ask what some of them is one or two of the mistakes were backstage. Definitely get yourself ready, because but the Patreon members get to unlock the content from the after party. And it's a whole different experience when you're at the after party. Everybody, like, I already got my little beverage. So I'm trying to shook it up, my protein drink. We getting ready to go. We're going in. So if you're not a Patreon member, become one. Patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. And that's how you do that. All right. So any final thoughts, comments, some tips you still want to share that you didn't get to on the show yet? I told you this time goes by fast, right?
It does.
It did, right?
I would say, I talk about a lot. I talk a lot about communication as well in the book. How to listen to understand. That's we're big on that. And really knowing, a lot of stuff in my book is a lot of the discussions me and my husband have had, because I had a lot of questions, even after I got married, well, why did guys, why did guys not want to commit to me? Like, what was wrong with me? Stuff that I still was kind of stuck with, that I still had questions about, even early on, and just understanding men. And so then a lot of stuff that's in my book is too from a male's perspective, as far as what guys are looking for. How do you, what makes you attractive to a man of God? That's who I want to attract. So, and this is a book mostly for Christian women, and we want to attract a man of God, or someone, definitely someone who seeks God. And to me, it's a blessing to have a man of God as a husband.
You better believe it.
So I'm writing from my experience and what I know. But what are they looking for? Sometimes,
But tell one nugget. What are they looking for? What did your husband say?
I remember my husband, he said he loved my worship. So I didn't know he was paying attention to me at church. But like he said my worship looked real and authentic. Like, he was like, wow, like it really looked like you were connected. Like, I mean, it was nothing, or just like my commitment, my worship and my commitment to what I was doing. Like, he was like, you were serious about keeping it holy. You were serious about, and he's like, I had so much respect, and that was somewhat attractive, because a lot of women are just willing to just compromise.
Well, stop for a second, because that's a really silly thought.
Okay.
Okay, y'all, work with me, okay? But just, so how do you normally praise God? I mean, he
was just saying slow worship. Like, I mean, I guess what he was trying to say is, like, I can see that you're saved for real.
I know, but I'm saying, like, when I praise God, for example, I know I have, like, the spirit of laughter. I don't know why God allows this to happen, because I'm not interested in laughing. I don't even like that many, like, comedy shows and stuff. I like comedy and I like comedy shows, but I don't, it's not something I would just go always to just pay to go see if I could see that when it come on video. So I'd rather go see a drama or a good thriller or something, like, yeah, let's go. But for some reason, God gives me this spirit of like, I'm just going in with such happiness and joy.
I cry.
Okay, so you cry. So that's okay. So you cry.
My worship, I cry. I cry.
Okay. So now let's use that. We're gonna go with that for a second. We're gonna go with that for a second. You cry. You cry in your spirit of worship. So you crying. You like.
I cry a lot.
So you're like, you cry. But if you knew that Raymond Sharp. If you knew that Raymond Sharp was really paying attention to you crying because he was thinking about you becoming his wife, how would you have cried?
No, I'm just playing. No, I think you're so silly. I think if you're just honest, and I was just honest. I'm just who I am. I think honestly, your husband's gonna be attracted to just who you are. And I feel like, but what makes him more attractive is to know that you're for real safe.
But I knew you were gonna cry differently. I knew you were gonna cry differently if you knew he was watching.
Yeah, if I knew, I'd probably like, I had no idea. I'm like, my worship. He was like, but I think what he was trying to say is that I noticed that it's like you can't fake worship.
Right,
like,
right.
Worship, you can't fake it. Like if you're going in, you be looking around if you're faking. Like you don't care who's around you.
Oh no, yeah.
You don't care. Like you don't care if people laughing at you. Like I'll be crying. I don't care. It's
I
like
don't care.
I close my eyes and this is me and God. Yeah, I know it's people around me, but this is me and God.
That's how I feel
atmosphere too. Where I can just go in and I just don't care who's around me.
That's good. And it attracted you
can't fake that.
And it attracted your husband of now 14 years to you. And that
it might have been something else, but he was just saying, like, I guess my walk was because if you can be committed to something like that and faithful to something like that, it gives them more, it tells them, well, she can be faithful to me. She knows how to be faithful to something.
That's right.
And committed to something and give her whole heart to it. And if this is what it looks like, why wouldn't I want to marry somebody like that?
That's good.
That's what he was trying to say.
I think that's what you wanted him to say.
But, yeah.
That's good. Lady Kenya May, who is another pastor's wife and first lady and distinguished entrepreneur in her own right as well, which I'd love to have you on the show too, Kenya May. Kenya May. Come on, the Kim Jacobs Show. Anyway, she said, awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this has been just great. Oh, hey, I want do me a favor. This is something I've been doing, right? Okay. So I've been asking people to come on the show, not everybody, but just some periodically. Okay. And you got this aura about you do it good to tell people to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show, right? Okay. So I'm going to put it up there and I'm going to remove myself from the screen and you have the whole screen to tell people to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. Wait a minute. Time you see me on
this is YouTube, right? The YouTube one.
Yeah. I need I get like 20,000 views across all the different platforms, but I need people to go to YouTube and subscribe. What y'all?
I got you.
Okay. I mean, come on. Okay. Let me remove myself. Here we go.
Okay, so everyone who's watching, you definitely want to not only just go to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube, but make sure you not only click the button, the subscribe button, but click the bell too, because then you'll know when exactly, she's coming on and when all the episodes are coming on. And then just say if you miss an episode, you can just always go back to her YouTube page and like, I need to scroll through, I need to find and catch up on all her episodes. So you definitely want to not only click the subscribe button, but click the bell as well on her YouTube page. So go ahead, as soon as this is over, go ahead into her YouTube page and do that as soon as all this is over. Did I do all right?
You did great. All right, y'all. We're doing some last things here. I'm getting ready to do a quick shout out for you too. Wait a minute. So let me find that. Then you can go back and screen record this if you want later, but I gotta find it right here. Okay. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna take you backstage. We're doing silly stuff here on the Kim Jacobs Show, y'all. That's the beauty of virtual stuff. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, the host of The Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, if you have not got your copy of two dynamic books, one is Ready and Relentless by Tanesha Sharp, and the other one is Mrs. Everything by Mr. Raymond Sharp. You want to get your copy today. You can get your copy by going to onesharpcouple.com. That's onesharpcouple.com. You're going to learn so many tips and nuggets that will transform your life, your marriage, your business. You are in for a treat by being able to learn from onesharpcouple.com. Tanesha and Raymond Sharp. God bless you.
Oh, perfect.
You know what? That's what life is all about. Supporting one another, building each other up, not worrying about competition, but trying to help
Yes.
each other be all the best that we can be. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, on the website, you'll see the podcast we're uploading another season in a few more weeks, season number 3. So we have podcasts. We do jump in. That's what we love to do. And so you guys can watch that. All that's free, of course, and our YouTube page as well. So
I'm
all that's on the
excited.
website. Yeah.
Excited. Thank you so much for being my guest today, Tanesha. And at 12:35, because I'm going on my prayer line from 12 to 12:30. Well,
Okay.
12:05 to 12:30. Okay, I'm going to go on the prayer line. But I'm going to send you a new link for us to go backstage for the after party. Is that okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching today. And tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you with Dr. Stephanie Ricks, Single Focusing on God.